Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through a big card at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. We're going to get stuck into 4 big races, take you through the quaddie tips, some best bets, some value bets, and the bit that I love most, Mike, putting you in the hot seat at the end, where we've got to come up with a bet for the punters. Yeah, it's a good week of racing this week, and it's good on and off the track at the moment, isn't it? Magic Million sales were enormous. The Cracker sales look huge as well. I'm finding myself half the time in the form guide, half the time the yearling sales brochures, looking for a horse as well, Stu. I know you are. I bet that Zoom profile's just gone in at the sales for
Absolutely.
you. It's a great time of year, the sales. So much action on and off the track.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Did you see the video during the week of the Cracker sales, Stu? You didn't miss that one, did you?
Did not miss it. We've got a lot of streakers out there at the moment. We've had the cricket, we've had the golf over in Phoenix today, we had the Cracker horse sales. What's doing?
Brilliant, love it. You've got to love racing, folk. No fines for that effort. I loved it.
Love it. No fines. And well, let's hope there's going to be none this weekend on Saturday. What a day it is. We've got the 2-year-olds, some really big feature races there, and the Group 2 Expressway, but that's to come in the quaddie. Let's kick things off with the first race of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens, and we've got By Sea going really, really well in this first leg. Tarsin for John Thompson as well, absolutely dominated there at Warwick Farm. And look, you're going to have something to say about the tempo in that race, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, it was a nothing race, wasn't it? They went at a really slow tempo, but what else can you do apart from win by a massive margin,
True.
which is what Tarsin did. Let's have a look at the way the first leg of the quaddie sets up, over 1,500 metres at Rosehill Gardens. The rail's out 3 metres, so we're expecting a fair bias, but it could be near pace if the rain doesn't come. So watch out for that. If it's a really firm track, it could be near pace, but we're hoping for fair bias. Good 3 to soft 5's the forecast. Keep your eye on the skies. There's a bit of rain around, and 1,500 metres kick us off, like we said, across the 3 key factors for this first race. So 1,500 metres, not too much tempo, so position and run does matter. Stage of preparation, which horses are ready to peak, and scope, looking for improvers as well. Well,
let's have a look at the market for this first leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens. And one of these, the favourite, has had a bit of money and support today into $3.60. That I'm talking about, By Sea, coming back from the mile. Summit out there, tough on pace, are engaged in this race, $4.40. Tarsin off that big win, $5.50. We've got Travancore there for Bryce Hayes. Pioneering and Sizzling Bullet rounding out those under $10, Mike. But this money today has come for By Sea, back from the mile.
Yeah, we'll look at her soon. She's an up-and-coming horse. She's got lots of talent. We'll see in the second replay just how she went last start. But we'll start with good old Samadou, who's putting in good run after good run this prep. This was only a few days ago. It was last week, in fact. Over 1,300 metres. He's a tough horse. He can handle any tempo. He only put on a steady tempo this day, but he fought on really hard like he always does, Stu.
Fought on hard, but gives a good little kick here. I reckon a lot of those, those horses, those punters that loved a horse on the rail, on pace at Rosehill, they're probably standing up and cheering about now. What do we make of this last 200 though? Yeah,
it was only a steady tempo, so it's quite deceiving. He did all he probably could. He did give a kick, and maybe he would be disappointed that he didn't win, but we think he might be set up for this Saturday, up to 1,500 metres, rolling along. 1,500 metres suits better. Yeah, he could be set up for this week.
Okay, let's look for him rolling along this week. Let's have a look at this money horse now, By Sea. Like I said, it was over the mile last start. It's just in here, in behind the speed. And, well, this money's come this weekend, Mike. Why?
This was an unbelievably strong tempo, and they ran a really fast time. So the ratings guys and girls out there will love this race, and maybe that's the early money, or maybe it's stable money and she's just improving. I mean, she's only had a few starts. She comes to the outside here off that strong tempo. She chases hard. She had every chance and she came second. It's really all about how she handles such a tough run fourth up. And you've got to remember, Stu, she did fail fourth up last prep at Hawkesbury.
Okay, so really a few key factors there we're looking for. What about this finish here? Were you thinking that she would have just run straight past Madison Avenue?
Yeah, absolutely. She had every chance to go past her and she didn't. They're all slowing down to a crawl for the last 100 metres there. But look, she's on the up. She can improve. It's just whether she's fit and well.
Okay, there's a look at 2 key runners for this first leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens. And now let's get stuck into this all-important in-depth analysis where we're going to take you through the form and the key factors for the race, Mike. So all this form, By Sea obviously won there, but we've got a few on top for form here to kick the race off.
Yeah, a lot of horses around the mark. Tarsin obviously with a big win last start, but we couldn't give him a clear top rater for form because of the slow tempo. Light up those 4 horses, all the favourites. Pretty good form for them.
Okay, let's see if we can split them up with these key factors. Position and run, the first all important.
Favourites once again, Samadou leads, Tarsin on his outside. That suits them just nicely. By Sea in behind. They get the gold bars for position and run.
Okay, so still 3 on top. Few of the favourites there. What about stage of preparation?
Yeah, lots here, and we pretty much alluded to it before. If you were backing By Sea, unless you're the stable and you know her, you might be worried fourth up on a firm track. A lot of those other horses actually ready to peak.
Okay, so big kicker there to sum it out, sticking it out in front as we head to Scope. Very important here, and a lot of gold for Scope.
Yeah, Sam Out's the one, you know his mark, you know what he's going to do. He hasn't got that much scope. Bicey and Tarson can improve, but they need to improve to beat Sam Out.
Well, this is from the start, hasn't it? As they finished the line there, we were equal at the start on the form. We're pretty much equal at the end there. There's not too much edge there. We've got the top three in the market, the top three in the ratings, Mike. The punters have got to have a bet here. I'm not being filled with too much confidence. Maybe it's that race where we can just play around with a few small bets.
Yeah, zero edge, like you said, Stu. We apologise. Usually it's the last leg that we struggle with. It's the first leg this week. 3 favourites, 3 top raters. I mean, I guess there's each way for Tarson there, but It's disappointing to see those 3 favourites on top. Travancore, we don't really like getting back at Rosehill. Invincible George, not too bad odds, so maybe we'll play him as well. Looking at the best bet, 2 sets of 3. You've got to play the value. Tarson on top, just purely from a value angle. Any of those top 3 can win, we think. Invincible George, he might be the one the market's missing. He'll get back at Rosehill, not ideal, but he's an improver getting deep into his prep now.
All right, so it's Tarson there. Look, we had to come up with a bet. There's nothing wrong with that. We've got a market, we've played it well, we've got a little bit of value there.
Just a small bet, I think, just a small one.
All right, well, let's look at the first leg of the quaddie. Let's have a look at the second leg now. It is the Group 2 Expressway. This has got me pretty excited, Mike. But it's a strange little setup here. I mean, 5 out of the 8 runners, they're the 3-year-olds. We've got 3 Group 1 winners here, ranging from 1,400 all the way up to 2,500, and we're back to the sprint distance of 1,200 here.
Yeah, what do you do over 1,200 metres? I mean, with all these 3-year-olds fresh, what do you do with them? Are they ready to go? Horses coming back from the Gold Coast, they're obviously fit, but have they handled that run? Lots of questions, and it's a weird feeling Group 2, like you said, Stu. Let's have a look at the way it sets up. This Group 2 over 1,200 metres, the feature on the day. Global Glamour with Memes on her outside will set a fair strong tempo, even though it's a small field, so it should be a genuine tempo. Good 3 to soft 5, and hopefully a fair bias we talked about before. So across the 3 key factors for this second leg, good Rosehill we're playing again, stage of preparation, all those first uppers, we have to play that key factor, and distance looking for genuine 6 furlong horses. Over
that 1,200, all important. Let's have a look at the market now for the Group 2 Expressway. And Gay's tough mare, Global Glamour, $3 favourite, and why not? She's just so good. Addictive Nature for Björn has trialled the house down, $3.20. That looks a good price. Trapeze Artist there, the Group 1 Golden Rose winner, $4.20. Memes, I mean, how tough's this horse? $7.50. A little bit out there to Showtime and Goodfella, but look, Global Glamour, Addictive Nature, Trapeze Artist, this looks to be the real class in this race, and some real good group horses here.
Yeah, they're cracking horses. We said it was a funny setup race, but it's a high quality race, isn't it? They're all good horses, those 3, and they might be hard to split. Let's have a look and see if we can split them. Starting with Addictive Nature, the second of 2 trials, which is important to note. Trapeze Artist, only 1 trial into this race on Saturday. Bjorn Baker had Music Magnate last year that won, obviously. He likes to set a horse for this race. It comes to the outside, and it looks like he's cruising, doesn't it, Stu?
It looks like he's cruising, but we only really just get to see that when he comes off heels here. You said it, I think. Bjorn, target race, did it last year. Look at this finish. You've got to be impressed with this. I know Luke Marlowe was.
Yeah, it was a great call, wasn't it? And he's a big power horse. The 1,200 metre dry track Rosehill should suit him. He's definitely going to sprint. Will he have the stamina in his legs over the last 100 metres with Global Glamour running along? That's the risk for him.
Love watching that trial. Let's have a look at one of these Group 1 winners now, Trapeze Artist. Look, we've got to show this replay because this win was just phenomenal. The Group 1 Golden Rose, not in the market this day, just showed us what this horse is capable of.
I absolutely love this horse. I backed him in Canberra. I backed him in the Slipper. Did I back him at 40 to 1 this day? Absolutely not. Blinkers on, Group 1, some of the best 3-year-olds in the country, obviously the best 3-year-olds in the country, going straight past Minari there. You think he might win by a bit, Stu, but he absolutely laps them.
Laps them here. Now, Flemington next start. Take us through that one.
Yeah, poor run. The start before this was a poor run, an okay run, bitten by Addictive Nature, so you're not sure what he's going to do every single Saturday, but at his best, he's obviously very good.
Absolutely gapped them there on the line. It's a great replay to watch. That's all we've got to deal with here on Key Factors. So now let's have a look at the form and get this race started, Mike. There's obviously some Group 1 form here that's got to be on top.
At their best form, the 3 favourites all have great form. We couldn't split them on the ratings. We tried to. At their best, light them up, they get the best form.
No harm not splitting them on form. Let's get to the key factors, see if they can split a good Rosehill track pending that weather.
Yeah, Global Glamour, she's got great 1,200 metre form on a soft Randwick track off strong tempos. The dry Rosehill may be a slight risk for her. Addictive Nature, we think, will definitely love it. Trapeze Artist, we know loves it. We saw that Group 1.
Okay, Addictive in Trapeze there. And Ace High, also a bit of gold. Now, stage of preparation. Now, we've got Global Glamour on the back up, all importantly.
Yeah, last year she did it. That's why she gets a gold bar. But it may be a bit of a risk. Listen to the stable. I think Adrian Bott was saying maybe she's okay. maybe listen to the radio Saturday morning on Sky Racing. Addictive Nature, he's been set for this first up. Trapeze Artist, he usually improves third up, so no gold bar for him.
Okay, Addictive Nature sticking his head out there as we round the bend into distance. This is 1200, Mike, very important.
Yeah, let's move through this one quickly. It's just a key factor to rule out good old Ace High, who's a Derby runner who won't be winning on Saturday.
All right, so it's Addictive Nature, and to my eye, they're the only favourite to get all three big tickers in the gold. Time for a bet here, Mike. I mean, you've mentioned Bjorn, this horse Addictive Nature, just warming those trials. We're feeling so warm about that. Global Glamour, I think a couple of queries there, but we know how tough she is. Trapeze Artist, off that run, is he going to be as good as that? There's a lot of questions here, Mike, but Addictive Nature, those trials to me, that price to me looks good. How are you going to play it?
Yeah, we're going to play him, aren't we? 3 favourites. There's a slight margin to Addictive Nature. Simple case closed. We're not super confident. If Global Glamour rolls along and makes it a really testing tempo, he could suck the finish out of Addictive Nature. He's got a big sprint, but might lack the surge. But Bjorn Baker set him for this race, we think, on Saturday. Box seat, follow the mare, peel out 200 metres from home and zoom straight past.
That's a good story, and Bjorn, he can set a horse for these feature races.
Yep.
There's a look at the Group 2 Expressway to wrap up the second leg of the quaddie. Stick around and we'll have a look at the rest as we come back from the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens this weekend, and it's benchmark racing over the 2,000 metres. Karsov, well, he had his turn a couple of weeks ago. Waller's got 4 runners, as you can expect in any 2,000 metre race in Sydney. It's sort of that who's it going to be's turn in Sydney this weekend, isn't it, for this style of race?
Yeah, it's definitely not the most exciting race on paper. There's a few usual suspects in this race, but sometimes these races can be great betting propositions, even though they're not the most exciting races like the last race was. Let's have a look at the way the 2,000 metre staying race sets up on Saturday. Benchmark 81, 2,000 metres. Unfortunately, once again, there's no tempo in this race, steady tempo only, like it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. Good track, we hope, on Saturday. Hopefully the rain will stay away. Fair bias we talked about. If it does firm up, it could be near pace towards the end of the day, including race 8. Across to the 3 key factors for this second last leg of the quaddie. A good Rosehill, we're playing again. Which horses like a good Rosehill? Distance up to 2,000 metres, which horses like that? And position and run, the steady tempo, you want the right spot.
Let's have a look at the market now for this third leg of the quaddie, and much exposed form and plenty of these horses up against each other again, but it's Vaucluse Bay off that solid run last start at $3.40. High Opinion, there's some really good support just late on Thursday, $4.80 into the $4.20 there. Hunter Jack, pretty reliable, $5.50. Gamblestown up in trip to the $6, and then out to Magical Stance. But look, a little bit of money here late for High Opinion, Mike, but Vaucluse Bay was so tough in that last run as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great run from Vaucluse Bay. Well, it looks like a great run on paper. We'll have a look at the replay and see just how he went last start against High Opinion, and more energy was in the same race as well. Vaucluse Bay, 3 starts ago, on pace, steady tempo, on pace bias, was favoured. 2 starts ago, didn't do much. This day again had the tempo and bias in his favour, so read into that what you will. More energy 3 wide the whole way, didn't suit him. High Opinion, he was definitely the eye catcher, wasn't he, Stu?
Yeah, the eye catcher. You've got to look for him in the blue, just sort of midfield. He's going to start ducking and weaving. Karsov the eventual winner. We obviously had a good win on Karsov this day, but look, action up front, Vaucluse Bay, and yeah, have a look outside here, and as we said, High Opinion just getting moving now.
Yeah, nothing makes ground apart from the well-backed Quebec out wide and High Opinion. They're the 2 that make ground, which is obviously a great sign for High Opinion. Making ground off that slow tempo, more energy. You could probably completely forgive that run out wide. Look, Vaucluse Bay, he finds the line the last 50 metres, which is a good thing. But once again, he had things in his favour that day, and he could be a risk on Saturday.
Could be a risk Saturday. Let's have a look at one here that's another horse that's going really well, but just never wins. We're speaking of Hunter Jack here, but we're showing this for a reason. This horse showed a lot of fight this day in the yellow, about 4 wide here, just coming into it.
Well, there's not many winners in this race in general, isn't it? So you want to sort of sack Hunter Jack for not being a winner, but then you look at the rest of the field and you realise there's 5 wins from 45 starts, 5 wins from 40 starts across the whole field. Look, he's got Sedanza form when he was fresh. He likes to race fresh. This is him over 1,500 metres last week. He has handled the back up before, but that was in 2014, third up. He's now 5th, 6th up, which is a concern for him. If you look in the race guide, it says his best 3 and 4 runs, we are his best for that comment.
Did you just mention 2014 there?
If you want to look at backup form, you've got to go back in time sometimes.
Love it, mate. Form and factors, that's what you're here to give us. Let's have a look now and get this race started. Who has got all this form, surely coming from that Cars Off race?
Well, yeah, Vaucluse Bay, you could go negative on his form if you want to correct for the bias, but that's getting a bit fancy. We'll put him on top with high opinion. They were the best 2 runs. Light him up for form.
There they are from the Cars Off race. As we get this race started, a good Rosehill track on Saturday, hopefully.
Yeah, Vaucluse Bay, one of the few horses that does like a dry Rosehill. Hunter Jack okay, Gamblestown likes it. High Opinion failed a few starts there, so might be a risk at the track.
Okay, Vaucluse out to the lead on a dry Rosie. How about this distance? A few of them stepping up.
Yeah, you can, it's a bit of a carve out in the middle of the market here. Hunter Jack, Gamblestown, Magical Stance tend to peak over 2,000 metres, so you might want to risk them. And just look to those top 2 favourites and More Energy. He loves the distance.
All that Cars Off form again and position in run. Who's going to get it?
Yeah, I mean, Vaucluse Bay doesn't get a gold bar, which for people at home might be unbelievable. What we're saying here is his form can't be any better, or his position in run can't be any better on Saturday. He had such a good run last week. High Opinion, Hunter Jack, they map well.
So it looks to me there, we've got Vaucluse Bay, High Opinion. It looks to be a bit of Waller versus Lees as we look to have a bet here, Mike. Vaucluse Bay, I mean, I know you've touched on it a bit. I know he hasn't been one of yours. Seemed to turn it around a bit there. You've also given the reasonings for that. The odds on this horse aren't going to be exactly what they were the last few starts, so it's right in the market here. I reckon you're going to be against this one, as you usually are.
Yeah, let's have a look and see that market. I mean, look, we've been a bit negative on him so far, haven't we? Vaucluse Bay right up there, and he's such short odds, and the money's already coming for High Opinion. We think he could firm some more. We think he could even start favourite. And there's lots of warmth around for More Energy as well. A few other tips just before the show, like that horse, so expect that to firm to $8, $9, $10 on Saturday. That's the way we rated it. So across the 2 best bets, they're the 2 best bets for us. High Opinion, he could start favourite. Rosehill's a slight risk, but 2,000 metres is great. And More Energy, he's simply above the odds. He'll firm on Saturday.
Okay, so High Opinion with the money there on Thursday. That's the one we're going with as the best bet. Let's wrap it up now, Mike. 2 really exciting horses back here in the last leg. I'm talking of Don't Give a Damn, one of the great country horses that stripped a few highways together there back at the end of the spring, and Chaonic for Waller. I mean, this is one of the most exciting horses in his yard. Not sure what the plans are. Could be Doncaster, could get as far out to the Derby. Who knows? It is exciting to have these 2 back.
Carnival is coming and the good horses are coming back. We've got one on pace, one storming from the back. It's going to be a really exciting race to finish off, and who knows how they're going first up. Let's have a look at the way the race sets up and see what we think of these 2 favourites. Benchmark 83. 1,300 metres. Remember, Chaonic won over 1,600 metres, so maybe that's a small risk for him. A fair tempo, a couple going forward from out wide. Good track, maybe a little bit of rain around and the fair bias we talked about. Across the 3 key factors for this last leg of the quaddie. Good Rosehill we're playing again. You've got to play that. If the rain does come, obviously sack these tips because it's based on a good Rosehill. Distance of 1,300 metres and scope. A couple of horses on the improve. You've got to factor that in.
So we're doing the show on a Thursday. We can't get blamed for that. Let's have a look now at this market for the last leg of the quaddie. Hope everyone's still alive. And there's those 2 smart horses resuming. Chaonic there, $3.20. Don't Give a Damn, $3.90. Then it is out to Wild Heart. So these 2 really dominating the market. And Insensata off a really good run last start as well. But Mike, see where the money's going to come for these, but they're both short enough.
Yeah, they're both seriously good horses. We'll look at their last starts from last preparation, see them at their peak, see how good they are. Questions on whether they can repeat it on Saturday, but you'll see how good these horses are. Don't Give a Damn, ridden like the best horse in the race in a country race. A good value country race as well. Some decent horses in this race. McAvoy from out wide, cruising to the lead, setting an honest clip, and just never looked like getting beaten, did he?
Nah, I love this racing style. Got to the front, gives them absolute windburn at the 300 and just breaks their house. I just love horses that can do this.
Yeah, great racing style. It suits Rosehill, doesn't it? So he should handle the track. He's only been beaten once by a horse by the name called Suncraze, and that was probably the steady tempo that beat him that day. He fought back on the line. If they went a more honest clip, he might be unbeaten. Really strong horse, really untapped. But no trials into this race on Saturday. So wait till the mounting yard, wait till the bookies ring. We've got no idea what he's going to do.
Yeah, a few big queries into the racing on Saturday. Let's have a look at Chaonic now. This was a really big win to round out his his spring preparation, I should say. Coming widest in the blue hat. Smart horse for Waller. Rounds them up, runs away.
Yeah, flew home first up in a maiden over 1,300 metres. Second up, 1,550 metres. Flew home and won a maiden. Looked like he's got massive surge. Looked like he'd love a soft track. We backed him this day. We loved him this day. Lots of people loved him. And boy, did he love that soft track. He surged home late, loved the mile. Could be a 2,000 metre plus horse. The risk for him is getting back to 1,300 metres on Saturday.
Absolutely smashed the line. Love it in behind there. So some clear form lines. Let's get stuck into this form now, Mike. I know that's what you've been waiting to do. Who are we lighting up here for the form?
Yeah, we couldn't split them on ratings. Some form analysts might be able to by a length or two. Chaonic and Don't Give a Damn. Light them up. They get the gold bar for form.
Okay, onto these key factors. Good Rosie, you've said it all show. It's going to be all important.
Yeah, soft Ramic to Good Rosie is a big difference for Chaonic. A much different experience for him on Saturday. He may not love that firm ground. Running 10.5 sectionals. We'll find out. Don't Give a Damn has won at Rosehill. Wild Heart, he's quite powerful too.
And distance. This is obviously an interesting one because Chaonic is obviously going to like longer.
Yeah, we think he's going to like longer. We think a strong tempo of a further will suit him. Don't Give a Damn, out of the two favourites, should like the distance more.
Okay, Don't Give a Damn getting out to a really good lead here as we hit the line. Scope, Mike. I mean, so many of these have got scope, but some have just got it more than others. Yeah,
there's a lot of horses on the improve, and maybe we've been a bit generous to some horses like Pumpkin Pie and Kawakini. The ones up to concentrate on up the top. Chaonic, so much upside. He gets a big kicker. He could be anything. He could simply be improving for Waller.
So massive kicker there for Chaonic. We had a massive kicker there for Don't Give a Damn in the key factor before. So these two, the market horses, sounds like, look, we're really warming to those. Time for a bet, Mike. I said we're a bit warming to those. Insensata's probably one that we backed last start. That's probably in the mix as well. Let's have a look at these prices now because we've got to have a bet here to round out the day. So it's $3.90, Don't Give a Damn. Chaonic, probably enough there for me to risk it to $3.20. Insensata there. That's the way the ratings have them, Mike. I mean, where are we at in risking Chaonic? I mean, that's not is it a smart thing to do? I mean, it's obviously a very good horse.
Well, on a Thursday night at $3.20, it's absolutely a smart thing to do. I think the bookies are playing it safe. It could drift to $5-6 on Saturday, or the money could come if he walks into the yard and prays like Kermit Eck. You never know. But we don't know what he's going to do on Saturday. And Don't Give a Damn, we don't know what he's going to do as well. So don't bet on this race until the market moves, till the mounting yard. If you can resist, please resist on this race. But the two early plays, if you have to go early, is Don't Give a Damn for us. 1,300 metres on pace suits him so well. He needs to get to the lead. He's never raced inside horses before, so he should get to the lead and he can win. And Insensata, she's a big, powerful mare that loves Rosehill Gardens and 1,300 metres unbeaten. She's the each-way play.
All right, so it's Don't Give a Damn, one of the favourites there as the best bet in the last leg. Quaddy time, Mike. Didn't quite get there last week. Let's better the books this weekend. How are we going to go? It felt pretty warm all the way through. Nothing to really stand out though. Yeah,
we're not sacking too many favourites in the first couple of legs, are we? Which is a bit disappointing. We like to find some value on this show, but race 6, we've got the 3 favourites in there. Tarson was the best bet, obviously. By C's in there. Invincible George is the roughie, storming home from the back. Race 7, just move on quickly. That's the 3 favourites. Addictive Nature may be the bet. And across to race 8, Vaucluse Bay, More Energy and High Opinion. That's the one we're going pretty short in. More Energy is obviously big odds. And race 9, look, we just can't be too confident with those 2 favourites. We're hoping a roughie like Tip Top gets up.
Okay, so there's still a little bit of value throughout that quaddie, but 55.6% for the $100. Now it's a fun time, Mike. You're in the hot seat again. The bar charts, they're all going away. Your balls are on the line here, mate. We started 2 weeks ago with $100. We've now got $220. We lucked out last week, but that first week was good. The tab didn't help us last week. We didn't have those each-way odds. Would have been a lot bigger had we have it. Yeah, we had a 50-1 shot, didn't we? We couldn't get the place odds, but we've got some place odds this week on Saturday. We'll have a look at what we're doing. Look, Addictive Nature, we're going to play him $30, I think, just to get the $100 back. We're playing $30 on Addictive Nature to win at $3.20. He's one of our first bets. $3.20, like it.
But race 8's the one we're going chips in on. $50 on a High Opinion at $4.20. With the money's already coming, we think it'll keep coming. And $10 on More Energy. Get it early. $19 a win, $4.50 a place. He will firm on Saturday for sure.
So the $100, we've got Addictive Nature, we've got High Opinion, and we've got More Energy on the each way at a little bit of value.
A lot of pressure on. We want to stay green all year, Stu.
Look, the pressure's on. That's the $100 for this weekend. That's where it's going. Get out to Rosehill Gardens. We've got Group 2 racing out there. It's going to be a fantastic day. Let's hope the rain stays away. All the feature race guides are there at theraceguide.com.au to get your eyes over all that important profiling for the Rosehill flat hard track, Mike.
Yeah, cheers. Enjoy your punting.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.